It's time for our country critter of the week.
Is he out of the field? Shot now. There he is.
Decided
In
to-
and out.
You'll get glimpses. Jane, tell us who we've got.
This is Duke of Earl, and much like the song, although it is a little before my time, much like the song, he's an awesome dog. He's a shepherd mix. He's probably about 7 years old, so he's kind of a middle-aged guy, and he is he's a great guy. He's housebroken. He he acts like he's good with cats. I mean, the people who had him, they had to return him for personal reasons that had nothing to do with him. He was great with their cats. He was mostly outside. They had outside cats.
He's not a fan of Garth.
He's staring down Garth Brooks right now. So anyway, I don't know what to tell you. He's just an awesome dog. He's not great with little kids, but it's mainly because his hips are starting to get those shepherdy hips. Nothing, doesn't even need medication for him, but if a little kid were to fall on him or something, you know, it would be ouchy for him. So we're saying older kids, like 10 and up.
How old do we think he is?
He's about 7 or 8. So he's like middle-aged.
He's broken in.
Yeah.
That's what that means. He's broken in.
He is.
Right, Bobby?
Yes, and he's an awesome boy.
He's super sweet. We've had him here in the office for just a little bit, and you know, aside from the fact that every now and then he sees his reflection in a window or he sees Garth Brooks' face on the ground, he's been great to have in here. And I think, you know, a lot of times, Jane, we talk about people's preferences when it comes to pets. A lot of times when you're talking about a bigger dog like Duke, I think people shy away from that, but he hasn't been rambunctious. He hasn't been all over the place. What's the matter, buddy?
Oh, my dog fell down.
Plop. He's, you know, he's been fine in the office here.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen him destroying anything, and he listens.
And odds
well.
are he's not been in a radio station before.
I would say probably not. Most people haven't. So he, you know, he listens well and that sort of thing. You can't let big dog fear play into Duke's situation. Yeah, he's a big old fellow, but he's a very well behaved and well mannered dog.
He is a good dog. I mean, and true, a big dog isn't necessarily for everybody. For example, if you have to walk your dog, and because there are those of us that have mobility issues, and you know, he might not be your first choice. You might want a smaller dog, but he's also, although he's still full of energy and he's a strong boy, he's not ill-mannered. So he's not somebody that you're going to have to worry about, you know, just taking off and trying to run with you, that sort of thing. So, and, you know, a shot for this guy is no more than a shot for a teacup poodle, so.
He's gonna take a nap here on the floor while we talk.
He's pretty chilled right now.
Now, how are things going at the Humane Society right now, capacity-wise?
Good. We're about the same, maybe a little under what we normally are this time of year. But just like, you know, again, thanks to our friend COVID, a lot of shelters have had a lot of adoptions because it's not that just people that were bored and so they didn't know what else to do. There were a lot of folks that didn't have the time to commit and to do right by a new pet. And they knew this, so they weren't in a position to commit. But then when they were working from home, things like that, I have a friend who, she lost her dog about 3 years ago, and she's always kind of wanted to get a puppy, a rescue puppy, and so since she was able to work from home, this was the year she jumped on, she committed, and it's worked out beautifully, and there's a lot of folks out there in her same position.
Well, if you're in that position, I know lots of people are, get in touch with Bartholomew County Humane Society, reach out to them and see if you can adopt Duke or find one of his furry friends over at the shelter. Jane, thanks for bringing him out.
Well, thanks so much for having us, as always. We appreciate it.
Duke, good boy.